Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wild&Wingless. Today I got myself Kurt McKain. Kurt, how are you today?
Yeah, mate, really good, really good. Freshly back from Kalgoorlie last night. We drove back straight after and had a quick nap today, so I'm ready to rock.
Very roll. So you're down there playing with the 410s, yeah?
Yeah, helping them out. It's sort of the Maddington is sort of trying to branch out to the country, and myself and Matty I will now jump on and help out a fella called Miles Bolger. So it's not the greatest results wise, but we probably have as much fun as anyone else in the pits when we're doing it.
Well, that's good. Well, this episode I'm going to feel very out of depth because I'm a big fan of what you do on your Work Area podcast. So yeah, I don't know, don't know how I'm going to go here, but bear with me. One thing I want to know. So, how did you get started in wingless? What was the story there?
Oh, mate, I used to do desert racing and sort of COVID hit and the price of new KTM 500s jumped to like 19 grand. And then by the time you throw what you need to throw, it's like 10 grand in suspension, probably like another 5 grand just in basic stuff just to get it desert ready. It was probably going to be 35 grand. And yeah, I used to be a copper up in the Kimberley of Western
Yeah, right.
Australia. And that's where I was stuck at the moment at that time. And a wingless popped up for sale in Broome for 15 grand. Uh, it seemed cheap and it probably should have been cheaper after I actually bought it, mate. It was an absolute piece of shit. So yeah, we bought that. Yeah, took it to Derby, run it once, got transferred down to Perth, and yeah, that was me, mate. I could afford it. It was sort of half the price of a new desert bike. If I was go to Fink or something like that, probably cost me 50 grand. And I thought I'll have a crack at the old Wingo and see what we can do for 15 grand. Really,
Yeah, right. How long ago was that?
3 years ago, I reckon.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, two and a half years ago.
Yep. So, what is it about wingless you enjoy the most?
To be fair, I could, it's like as close to a sprint car as I could afford. They look good. Here in Perth, we get to run at the Motorplex, which is just a massive tick for me. I think it's 7 minutes from where I live. I live on like farmland right near the Motorplex, and like I can hear it if they're running at night. I can tell which division is running based on the noise, um, and then now that I'm in it and have immersed myself in it, what I love about it is I don't think there's a class in speedway that's more driver based. Like you can miss your setup. I feel like in the wingless and it still comes down to whoever's the best driver is going to win the race most nights. And I don't feel like that's as consistent throughout all the other divisions. I feel like whoever's got the best car can win, and some nights in the wingless, it's the same person who wins because they just are the best driver.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% behind that. So far, you guys have been like rolling on a fair few races, especially out of Perth Motorplex. And you guys have some pretty cool races where they're like midweek races too. Something that like I know no one here on the East Coast has. Um, how many races do you guys look at doing a season?
I reckon it'll be at least probably 22. I think by the time the season rolls around is what we're doing, and like that's not inclusive. We can pretty much practice every Wednesday night at the Motorplex as well. So every Wednesday night, I think it's about $90. They grade the track, fully prepped Motorplex track. There's usually 80 odd cars there. Like the sprint cars are there, the late models are there. Like any division that's obviously licensed can rock up to the Motorplex on a Wednesday night, sling him your $90 or whatever it is, and literally rip as many laps as you want. So yeah, really, really fortunate that the Motorplex allow you to do that, and then new people to the sport. It's just a free kick. Like, oh yeah, if you get a wingless, sometimes the first laps you could ever do is lap one of a heat race
Yep.
in a wingless. Like, whereas here, yeah, not only do we get to race Fridays, Saturdays, and Wednesday nights, but you can practice any Wednesday night really. So
That's
it's yeah,
incredible.
yeah, it's good, mate. Like I said, when I first started, I did like 4 practices, and like you come out of the exit, you just literally drive straight back to the chute. They can do one like another 8 round heat of another division, and you can get pushed straight back out.
Really?
Like, yeah, I reckon I would have done close to 50 laps on my very first night at practice at the Perth Motorplex. Just as many laps as you can get in, you can get in.
Far out. See, here we are over on the East Coast in Sydney. We've got the new speedway here and run by government as well, but it's just not to that degree. So hats off to you guys. You guys got it going on. That's wow. That's incredible. Because I remember speaking to people before we got into speedway, and they said, it's not like circuit racing or go karts. We have no practice. because over here we just don't have it. And how many times you hear of guys with sprint cars and they have to go find a dyno, stuff like that to test run because they don't want to load up and go 9 hours down the road. So, man, that's incredible. 22 races. That's a fantastic season.
Well, mate, even last Wednesday night, I bought a brake. Dane Kingshot does like titanium welding and stuff. I bought one. He said, come to practice, pick it up. 6 minutes down the road. Caden Manders, Callum Williamson, and Dane Kingshot, top 3 in the series. They had like their own heat race for like 5 heats in a row. They all 3 got pushed out on a Wednesday night. There's only 2 rounds before their season finishes, and they're absolutely pounding on a Wednesday night. Just those 3 out on the track. It's just, yeah, very, very fortunate to have the Motorplex at our doorstep.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And speaking of Motorplex, so this year you guys obviously have the Australian title coming up, but it's turning into a bit of a it's like a full week of racing. The first week, the Australian title. During the week, you're going to have the Des National Memorial. Then at the end, you guys are going to have your state title. How many Australian titles have you ran? Would this be your first Australian title?
Yeah. I've won, ran a state title down in Albany.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Otherwise, it's just obviously the first Australian title that I'll be a part of.
What are your thoughts going into this?
To be honest, mate, like I want to make the A main, but I also want to watch the A main. I look at it from a little bit of a different lens, obviously doing what I do as well to try and talk about it. Like I love watching those boys rip and if the track can push up to the wall like what we want it to, and we don't know if it will, just with there's no support divisions that can sort of help move the track along and stuff like that. But yeah, the Australian title here at the Perth Motorplex, I just think it's just going to be wild. It'll be as good a racing as you can. It won't be one line. It can't be like, there'll be passing. Obviously, we run here so often that everyone's cars are pretty dialed here. So it'd just be interesting to see what the East Coast Raiders can do. You know, who knows what happens with this fuel and stuff like that. Like, I'm not sure if we'll lose a few numbers. I really hope not. But yeah, I'm a little bit torn. I want to do everything I can to try and make the A main, and I feel like that'll be a tick in the box if I could just get there. But probably realistically, a B main would be a pass mark for me at this stage, I reckon. But yeah, soften the blow a little bit. If I have to watch the A main and one of the local boys takes it out, I'd be pretty pumped.
Well, I mean, there's 2 of them there, the brothers, and then you got the what is it, McKenzie?
Yeah, Jai
McKenzie as well. He's showing some great form now. Like, he hasn't been in the car nearly all year and just comes and done an excellent thing last weekend or 2 weekends ago. So who knows?
He showed a heap. He just he said by his own admission he races a 410 and it's made him slow down a little bit. I'm not sure what their issue was the last time when he was leading. I think the engine let go, but a few DNFs, but he's shown a lot of speed. So he's smart. Like they'll figure it out. I know he's got another fellow who races, Gareth Smith, helps him out with the car, and that car's Mickey Mouse as well. Like they set that up well, and Jai can run the wall at the Motorplex as good as anyone.
Yeah, right. Well, I've sort of been saying that to a lot of people we've been talking to with the race coming up, and it's like I see the promo videos. One thing I do love with Wingless is their social media presence, and I say that to everyone who listens. Like, it's just incredible. But the cars, like, you've got the presence on social media. You guys are racing at one of the best tracks in the country, but the cars look the part. Like those cars, if you couldn't see how many header pipes are underneath it, you could swear that was a USAC car. Like, you guys have got your presentation down pat. Like, from the guy coming first to the guy in the B main, like everyone's car looks $1 million over there. It's just incredible. So, but yeah, you guys will be hard to beat, I reckon.
Yeah, with the cars, I wasn't probably aware of the difference, and the WA sort of wingless scene's all I've known, and then went over to Mount Gambier for the sprint car title, and obviously the Wingos were running there, and the standard. I didn't realize our standard was so high until I went there. But even the differences. Everyone runs a 3-1 over there. Over here, there's like probably 2 cars that run a 3-1, and everyone's in a 6-1, and then it got me thinking, do we just run it because the Our boys run it so everyone else follows? I don't know. But, yeah, the standard of the cars here, like particularly once you start working on some sprint cars and stuff like that, like, the top 10 cars, there's absolutely no shit cars out there at all. Like, even even tyres. We always have really good tyres because the Motorplex never touches the track, so everyone's got good tyres. Like, yeah, I would agree, mate. The top 10 cars, you could just bolt a wing on it, and it'd be as good, if not nicer, than some of the 410s out there.
Yeah, no, and you can see it. Like, I mean, the cars that we did this WoW series last year, and a lot of those cars in that WoW series were that sort of quality. But when I started going through these videos that you guys are pumping out, and I'm slowing them down, I'm looking at this, looking at that, I'm thinking, far out. Like, these guys are just gone that next level. Like New South Wales, we sort of struggled a bit once the sprint car scene sort of died off. We lost a lot of our. Not that I mean, all right, back in the day, a lot of the guys in Wingless were buying second-hand parts. Well, our second-hand parts have almost dried up because our sprint cars aren't turning too many wheels. So you have to look for like Victoria and Queensland, and you go look at those sort of cars, and then you look at your cars, and you're thinking, like, yeah, just over in the West, they just got something going on. I don't know, it must be in the water, but you guys have just got. It's just amazing. So, yeah.
Well, just with that, two things. Firstly, the social media, that's Paige Middleton. Obviously, she does an absolute mountain of work. She's rolling around the pits. She gets the heat race photos, the hard charger photos, just constantly doing all the social media, and probably makes the division look good. And in reality, it's just Paige with the camera, which makes us look really good. But it's exactly what you're saying, mate. We're also really lucky to have the Motorplex here with. I think they get about 40 sprint cars every weekend, and then the parts flow down from that. Like, there's so many good teams here that we are fortunate that there's so many quality secondhand parts around, and there is like a real ecosystem here in WA of parts filtering down from sprint car teams. Like Jason Pride, like he helps people out with tyres, and Crickies gives me some stuff, and everyone's sort of got their own little team that they sort of get their parts from. But then that standard's so high that they're not handing down junk.
No.
They hand down, 12-month-old diffs, and then you can pick them up at a reasonable price. Nothing's cheap in Speedway, like but just helps a lot, like all of the sport look a little bit better than what I've seen elsewhere, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there, and that's what I think. It's just the turnover over there is just a lot better quality. But yeah, I mean, I even know some guys over here going there. And while they're there, they're going to try and look at some parts while they're over there to bring back to the east. So, all right. So you hopefully going to dial in for try and get into the A, and that's going to be good. I mean, it's going to be a great racing over there. I mean, that track runs 24 cars, so plus your racing, the format they've got loaded up for that. Who knows where you're going to be, but it's going to be some exciting and passing racing, which is going to be good. And then you guys only have a couple nights off, and then you're back to this Des National Memorial. Which is an absolute cracker of a race. I thought the Stampede at Mildura was going to be the most expensive wingless race in the country, and this thing goes and blows it by $550, so $10,550 on the winner. That's insane.
Okay. That's obviously the wingless. Bailey and Cody Nash ran the wingless a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Their dad Lee Nash is he owns Component Specialties. It's a company here. They do diffs and steering racks and stuff like that. But yeah, they've obviously helped out fronting up the money. Des, their grandfather and Lee's dad, obviously founded the division. Essentially, it seems like put so much into the sport, and they're no longer involved in the wingless. They've moved up, but their commitment to what Des did for the division, they want to continue that. They're ripper fellas. They love watching the race, and I think last year's Des Nash. I've got a mate, Nick Rowe, runs the speed cars. He said that's the best speedway race he's ever watched in his life.
Yeah, right.
And so the boys go for it. They give out the cowboy hats at the end. I think Dad's the outlaw, and yeah, that's huge. $10,000 in a division where you can win essentially probably half the cost of your car. It's just phenomenal.
Yep. No, I think that's wild, and I can't wait for this because just when you start getting over that, you've got the WA title a couple of days later. Thankfully, everything's going to be on Claverview, so whoever doesn't make it over to the west, can sit at home and watch it. But what's your thoughts on from where you've been in the previous WA titles to move forward with this one? You reckon you're going to have a better shot, or
I would never say I have a shot. Like I heat race okay.
Yeah.
Like I started off pole last time in front of 44 cars, but I did get lucky with my heat draws. I do go all right in my heats, but when the track slickens off that bit and it goes to the wall, it's seriously just a different game. And what sort of Matt and Blake, Jai, McKenzie, Trav Armstrong, Brandon Sharp, like how that hard they can run that wall when there's not much of a cushion. And I think from what I can see and see elsewhere, like running the wall at the Motorplex is not like running the wall anywhere else. It's legitimately your front right tyre is on the wall. Like you're not flirting with it. And I just can't push as hard. And I'm just not willing to push as hard as what those top 5 or 6 boys push. Like, so I put myself in a decent position some nights, but the field's so deep here, mate, and yeah, those, like I said, those sort of 5 or 6 top dudes, if it gets to the wall, they're absolutely sending it, and I'm probably realistically not. I'm just not there yet, but I'll have a crack. Like that's the last race of the season, so if I'm going to win the thing, it probably is going to be at that state title. So yeah, hopefully it pushes up to the wall. It provides the best racing when it's up there, and the slide jobs, you know, they come from so far back because there's so much room. You can slide someone every lap of every race, and you're never squeezing anyone for room, and it just provides phenomenal racing. So hopefully, with the amount of cars that we have, they can progress the track up onto the wall and just let those boys put on a show. Because yeah, like Blake Highway now, he's a freak, mate. He drives it like he wants to tear it in half, but he will just never tear it in half. Like, I don't know. Yeah, they're just a bit different, those boys. I'll let them let rip into that wall, I reckon.
So you reckon that's going to be the secret? Because I mean, over here on the west coast and stuff, and the guys in South Australia, like, yeah, those tracks do go to the wall, but not to the degree. Well, not to the degree of the speed that Perth Motorplex has. That's one thing they got is speed. Like those wingless cars, I don't care what anyone says, being V6 or whatever. Those things are moving coming into those straights, and then you're bang, as you said, you're just riding that wall. Do you reckon that's going to be the hard point for a lot of the travelling drivers over there? Is to get their head around that?
Yeah. I think it will, because obviously people like myself, I've run here for 2 years now, and I run most events, and you can only ever get a look at the wall once a night because how the heat races are, it's nowhere near it. And then our second heat race is generally 8 to 8:30. Then they'll have a speed car feature, a sprint car feature, a late model feature, and then we roll out onto an ice rink that's against the wall. Like, so you don't get to slowly progress. It's just your heat races are completely different tracks, and then you get out there and it's slick to the fence. And for people like me, and sort of, I reckon probably like fifth onwards, it's just you're out of your depth pretty quickly, and you just need laps. So I'd love to know. I know, like, yeah, there's plenty of good guys that are coming over, and they'll be able to adapt pretty quickly. But I would imagine the question for me would be more so it's going to be middle of April. The sun's down at 5 o'clock. Like, it generally rains that time of year here in Perth. My question would just whether they'll be able to get it to the wall. Like, some nights at the Motorplex, it doesn't even get to the wall with the sprint cars there. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think we only got Formula 500s there. I think there's about 60 or 70 nominations so far, and you'd hope most people stick around for the week. And it would just be. I know all the local boys want it on the fence. Like, that's a big thing, because you know that's the home ground advantage. If it's slick, put it on the fence. Like, you wouldn't run a setup anywhere near what you would to run that track anywhere else in the country. So, you know, you need a decent car to be able to run up there, because you're generally bricked the whole way down the straight, tap the brakes just to slow yourself up, and then you're just into it the whole fence. And if you back out, it lifts, gets the wall, drags the front around, and she's over. So, yeah, but again, my question would be just that time of year with the moisture in the air, I just don't know if it's going to get to the fence. So, but regardless, it'll be real racy, but it'll be real fast as well. Because at the Motorplex, some nights the wingless do lap times faster than speed cars.
Really?
And regularly, I did a show last year. Matty Iwanout and Blake would have finished 3rd and 4th in the speed car feature in the wingless based on their lap time.
Wow.
I don't know, because I just feel like maybe the bigger tyres, they can run the wall harder than what the midgets can. I'm not sure. But yeah, like sometimes, like the person who finished second in the speed car race, all of my laps were faster than him in a heat race. So the wingless get up and go at the Motorplex when they can carry their momentum, and then if it doesn't, it stays juiced up. I feel like maybe maybe advantage goes back to the Eastern States guys who generally run the bottom really well and run the curb and are really good on their throttle. Like it'll be interesting, and a lot of the thing will be weather dependent. They prep the track the same every time, but yeah, I think all the WA boys want it sleek to the fence, and I don't know. Hopefully the Eastern States want it as well, and because you'd want to come over here and sort of beat the WA boys at what they do best, I would imagine, but I just can't see it happening if I'm honest. If it's on the fence, I'd be amazed if one of those sort of five fellas that I mentioned doesn't get up and go. Like you would have seen Trav Armstrong on that last Wednesday night show.
Yep.
You know, like he's snapped the ladder out of it. Like that's just from hitting the wall so many times. Like that's and if he drives that hard on a Wednesday night, imagine what he's doing for an Aussie title.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I didn't want to bring in any state of origin sort of banter, but the last time you guys had an Australian title over there, pretty sure a New South Wales guys won. But anyway, we'll leave that one there.
Is that at Cal though?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we just were there last night. Like it looked good. But yeah, like I said, that's what I feel like. If it's on the bottom, I just think it's an even playing field because yeah, there wouldn't be too many feature races that we have that would be on the bottom and can that the WA boys, I guess, yeah, rip the top as hard as you can on the wall. Like, but I feel like if it's on the bottom, Tyson Martin, anyone that Blake Walsh, he's run here a few times. He beat Matt Iwanow, like but that was a real fast track right through the middle. You know what I mean? So they're used to that. But yeah, just who knows, mate? That's why we race for it.
That's right. Well, either way, I mean, last year we had a very good place at Mildura there. And Matty came over. It was good to see some of the guys from WA came over. And I was really impressed with how he adapted very quickly to the track. Haven't spoken to him about it, but I was very impressed with how he went about his whole weekend program. But either way, it's going to be another race to track. So we're going to see passing. It's going to be mental. It's going to be fantastic to see. So we'll just step aside. So that's three incredible races that you guys have put on as a club, or the club has put on to sort of smash out and allow the visitors to come over and get as much racing for a short amount of time. But what's been your personal highlight for this season?
Not many, mate. Really. And then it's almost like my highlights are embarrassing. Like I started off pole in front of the biggest field they've ever had, but then I backed it up to 6. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's like a backhanded compliment with my results. I've had a 4th. I had we have 4 heat races here on a Wednesday night with 11 cars in every heat. Like, and so there's 8 heat races. There's 2 rounds of 4. Like, it is really tough. I did get lucky with my heats and, but really, I won like the development series, but I sort of don't count that because, how could you when all the real big dogs race Saturday nights and then you win on a Friday night?
You guys do that on a Friday night, and then you have the Saturday night for like your Iwanows and.
Yep, yeah. So they had a development series. So I guess the concept was probably first 2-year drivers, maybe push it to 3.
Yep.
There's no like hard and fast rule. It's almost like a gentleman's agreement, and it was called the development series. But just with the numbers that we have now, they can't justify almost doing that because we sacrificed a lot of our Saturday nights in a wingless this year. We have not run a single Saturday night this entire year. The first Saturday night we race at the Motorplex will be the Australian title. We've run Wednesdays and Fridays only. So, my highlight, mate, I'm not really sure. I beat Matt Iwanow in a heat race once. That's about the essential. That's my biggest highlight I've had.
Mate, take it. I don't think too many people can say that. They're just so quick and consistent.
Clever. They're very clever. Like, yep. Yeah, that's why I don't have any highlights because those quick.
Maybe you should come over the East Coast. You have fun over here. What's your favourite racetrack?
It would be the Motorplex. Like it's just, and not just like I don't know. Probably I don't know if there's a mentality from over east that everyone just loves it and stuff. But fuck me, wait till you get here. Wait till you get to race it. You roll out. There's grandstands everywhere. You race on a Saturday night. There's 8,000 people there. We forget about it here. But I've got 3 kids. They're at the pits with me eating chicken treat. My wife's there. in the pits. Like everyone's families with them, so I feel like everyone's like a heap more relaxed. It's heaps more fun. If you have a mate who's never been to watch your race speedway, that he doesn't have to sit in the crowd and wait for half time. He can jump on the quad and push you to the chute.
Yep.
You know, little things like that. So it makes it a lot more enjoyable. It doesn't hurt tires at all. Like if you bolted on a brand new set of tires, you could easily get 4 full nights out of it. Easily.
Yeah, right.
It's just cost effective. It's on pay-per-view. Sometimes it's on Channel 7. Yeah, your family can be there. Your friends can come and not just watch. They can hang out with you. Like, you know, they can watch the race and then be in your pits when you hand your helmet out of the car. Yep. And that can just be, you know, one of your workmates or whatever. So, yeah, Motorplex by far. They run a really good show. I think one night we did a 30-lap feature race and I was home at 9:30.
What?
Yeah. Like they get through it. They don't stuff around. Like your sort of night starts at maybe 5:15 and a 30-lap feature race was done by 9:15 or something like that. Bang, pack it up, go.
That's just incredible.
It's not just the track, the facility and how it runs and all the other stuff around it is really good. But the country tracks, I love Albany. Albany is a pretty decent track. But yeah, that's the Motorplex. I don't know. Are you coming over for it?
No, I don't think. I think that weekend I've unfortunately flying up to work in Darwin. So yeah, I wanted to, but yeah.
Nah, it's Motorplex by far, and not just the track. It's like the whole experience, you know.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things, and I can take it from when we had Parramatta back in the day. Yep. Close to your house, But not only that, like you put in pay-per-view there. That's a game changer for me. Like that just makes everything better. And then just the fact, as you said, like the crowd's big. We don't have a track here in New South Wales where the family can be in the pits with you. I'm not sure what they're doing at Eastern Creek now, but up in Queensland there, they have that, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like I've spoken with other people like Gary Fitzpatrick and all that sort of stuff about that deal, and I think that's very good. It brings. I just know what it's like when my young girls were a lot younger. You'd get there like midday to a track, and you got to kick them out. They got to go find a tree or something like that to get shade under, and just it doesn't work as a family. It really doesn't work. So, but when I watch all the stuff on Clayview from Perth, like great pit area, great facilities, like that is world class. That is, they did it right. You know what I mean? Whereas. Yeah. Anyway, I won't go bagging out my track, but no, I can hear what you're saying there. I understand exactly why you chose that one.
Like just with that, mate. Like I said, my family. I got a 2-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, and they wash my car. Like my kids literally wash my car. Like and even that, like the dirt doesn't stay in your car. The dirt comes off easy. Just stuff. But yeah, I would find it really difficult, and it would actually change sort of how I went about my racing if it wasn't that easy just to have my kids and wife there with me, like easy as.
Yep. Oh, you're right, because you got the young kids too, and I mean, how much can your wife put up with you doing that? And she's sitting on the hill, and you went there in one car, and that car's in the pits, and she's holding all the kids, and oh boy, yeah, they make it easy for you guys. What's been your well? I guess that might be it. What's been your favourite moment in the sport?
In terms of wingless, I just like finishing races. For me personally, probably my last race, for me personally, has been my favourite moment. I run 6th, but I feel like everyone in front of me was really good. It's the first time I sort of pushed the limits on the wall. Like I was racing with Trav Armstrong and Matty Iwanow when it was up on the fence. I had Sharpie behind me, raced pretty much the whole race with him, and usually I would just throw the parachute out and back it up, but I didn't. I passed Matty Iwanow back a few times. So that for me, and then probably my favourite wingless race that I've watched here, maybe the first race of the year. Can't remember what happened. I was on the infield with some sort of issue, and Matty Iwanow chased Darren Humphries down and threw a massive bomb on him in the last lap to win the race. And
I remember that.
Matty's a ripper fella. Darren's a really good dude as well, but that was such an awesome race to watch. Like Matty's just slowly eating him away, and he throws sliders when he knows they're not going to work. So just to try and make Darren cover himself the next lap, because the track's that big, you can there's all those sorts of games that get played as well. And Matty doesn't have to do that with me; he just comes underneath me and goes usually. But yeah, to watch that play out and watch him sort of set it up and last lap pass, that was pretty magic. I was Trav Armstrong blitzing the fence for his first win. That was pretty sick. But yeah, there's always a heap of good races. But that I don't really know my sort of moment. I haven't lit it up too much.
Oh, I mean, it sounds like it's this year, so hopefully the best is yet to come for you. As I spoke to you before, one thing what first caught my eye with yourself, besides seeing your name sort of in your post-race spiel that your club does on their Facebook page, I'd always sort of see your name, and I've been following a lot of drivers. So when you do this, then as you know, if you try and reach out to people, talk to people, you try and get a bit of a base on who they are, sort of thing, before you get to them. But I noticed you did this competition where you pretty much threw your car out as a prize for someone to come along and do an arrive and drive. And I just thought, man, that was a fantastic thing. I think I liked it, maybe and commented. I thought it was fantastic. How did that go in the end?
Yeah, it's been really good. So essentially, through my sponsors, I've just said, if you can give me a receipt, I've got 4 major sponsors. If you give me a receipt from any of them, that every one of them's going to have their own draw. So Bunbury Toyota, I think they've had about 6 people buy a car through them now. Jolly Good Auto Electrics, QV, and whatever. If you buy anything from them and show me a receipt, I'm just going to do a random draw, and then I'll take the 4 winners down to, again, the Perth Motorplex at the end of the year. They have I think it must be about 5 or 6 sponsor nights. So anyone who races Speedway, you come in and you get a 1-day license for your sponsors. You go out into the infield with your churns, and then you literally just let rip. You can throw anyone in the car. They put on a race suit, a helmet, and then so like the sprint cars are there. They do theirs, but all the wingless people. And I'm not too protective of my car or anything like that, mate. I view the wingless pretty simplistic, mate. It's just a race car, and I spend too much money on it. Not that I spend a lot, but I spend too much to not be out there to have fun. So I just thought it's just a cool idea, but 2, it's just a way for me to ask for more money from my sponsors next year as well, really. But
smart man.
Yeah, well, it's been well received. I've had heaps of messages, and sort of probably actually I need to finalise a grand final weekend. Is this weekend here in Perth. Might be washed out. Looks like there's a fair bit of rain coming. But yeah, I'll just pull the names out the hat, and whoever wins, if they can fit in the seat. I'm not changing seats or anything like that, but I'm not the smallest unit, so hopefully most fit in it. But yeah, whoever wins, mate, it's just going to come down, strap a helmet on, and let it rip around the motorplex. I do it properly. I set it up the same as I would set it up. Put good tyres on it. Did it last year with one of my sponsors, and didn't work. He didn't want to come back on board this year.
Oh, no way. Did he go buy his own car, did he?
Nah, he didn't. He's a ripper fella. Upfield Designs. He designs all the helmets and stuff like that over here. And he's just went a different direction, but he's a ripper fella. But yeah, mate, who knows, mate? Winglesses are only, sort of 15 to 20 grand, and who knows who you drag down from it.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. Yeah, I sort of come up with dumb shit when I'm sitting in my truck trying to think of how I can do some stuff a bit differently. And I just want to be able to tell sponsors that I'm going to give you more than anyone else out there will give you.
Yeah.
And that's one of the ways I thought I could do it.
One thing I've picked up while doing this show is sort of how people take on these ideas with social media and stuff. So your idea was incredible. I thought it was fantastic. Another person who's really good with his social media, and he's got a stack of sponsors, is Tyson Martin. But it's what you don't see on his side of things. Like, you don't see the nose he gets, but he keeps on going. Just like you've probably gotten your nose as well, but you just keep on going. And these ideas you're coming up with, like, man, I know Sydney was in a position where we had midweek practice and stuff. You'd be stupid not to be doing that same idea. Yeah. You know what I mean? So hats off to you, man. You've done that. But I sort of saw that as well, because I got onto your podcast there, the Work Area podcast. You are really kicking some goals with that. Like, you've got some incredible. You got some big players in the game. Here I am. I like the fact who I'm chasing down. I'm chasing down wingless races. I think they're the best. And hats off to all the wingless guys out there. But you're like catching up with Cole Macedo. I think I've seen you with some of the big guys in crew chiefs and stuff like that. Did I see Kim Buzzy as well on an episode?
Yeah, Buzzy was on. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you've been really ticking off some goals there. Like, tell me what got you started on that side of things.
Yeah, I would love to tell you I have this passion for like telling stories and getting the sport out there. But I literally just one night at a Wingless committee meeting, I talked shit and said I could do a podcast. And then it just literally grew legs from there. And a week later, I did my first podcast with a fella called Benny Stockdale, who was at the committee meeting. And yeah, just I don't know, I just thought stuff. I drive a truck for a living. I listen to podcasts. I ran out of content. You know, I start work at 4 a.m. on a Monday morning. By 6 o'clock, I'm done. Like, there's nothing else to listen to speedway wise, and love my footy, so I'd listen to all the footy podcasts. And I sort of went towards the more funny, sort of laid back. And I just thought I could do this. Surely, how hard could it be? A little bit harder than what I thought, but I just try and keep it pretty simple, mate. And but yeah, essentially, I just opened my mouth at a committee meeting, and then I was like, well, I don't want to look like I'm going to pull out, so I'll start it. I think I settled on the work area was about the seventh name that I had. All the rest were taken, you know, like from what I had. I can't even remember what they were, but yeah, even with that, mate. Like Cole Macedo, he's a ripper fella, but the driver ones are like the least popular. Like by far, Crew Chiefs are the biggest podcasts that I do. People love them. I love them. Like they hear from the drivers enough, but yeah, the behind the scenes type stuff seems to be resonate and interest people a lot more. Like Ryan Crick, never even driven a sprint car. He's not even a crew chief, and he would be my biggest episode I think I've done, Ryan, so far.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know, mate. I sort of obviously I put in a little bit of effort, but I try and make it as enjoyable and as fun as I can, because some days I don't even want to do it at all. You know what I mean? Some days I just want to, I'm not stuff this, I'm over this, I don't want to do anymore. But I feel like if I don't try and keep it as fun and enjoyable and just talk a bit of turkey every now and then, that I would have probably definitely hung it up. But I do love it. You know, I've had some great sponsors from it. Like I've had some wicked stuff come from it, and I guess maybe like what you spoke about with Tyson Martin, mate. Like it sucks. It's weird. You got to put yourself out there a little bit though, and you never know what will come from it. And like, I felt like a dickhead. I still roll around the speedway. I could see people like say g'day to me. It makes me feel real uncomfortable, you know, especially when I like the meeting before last, I didn't even get out the B main. So I'm like, I'm just a nuffy that loves their sprint cars and their speedway, mate. And yeah, but she's all fun, like what you do, mate. As long as you enjoy it, you know, it's not too bad, mate. It's just all a bit of fun, and at the end of the day, everyone just loves speedway, so they're going to listen anyway.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, I hear from a lot of people, and they're like, please, when are you going to bring it to Spotify? And I've been trying to do it, and when I fly out, I sit there on, you know, a couple of the shifts there at night time, and I try and learn how to take them to Spotify. Well, now I've spoken to Kurt. He's helped me, so hopefully we'll get Wild and Wingless to Spotify. So I appreciate that, Kurt.
You can have it done tonight. It's literally that easy.
Oh, don't make it sound that easy, because then people are going to go, why is it not up there? And it's because, yeah, I run it. I get sidetracked very quickly. I go look at race car pictures. But no, I think it's great what you're doing. With the show, but what's your end game? I'm not saying to be mean. I'm just saying, because I know when I started doing this, I was like, I'm just going to do it to sort of get it out there. I'm going to try and push this WoW series, and I had no end game. And I still don't have an end game. I just love talking wingless, and I like talking to the drivers.
Mate, I mean, I'm no different. I'm in the exact same boat. I've had some approaches to do some stuff that sort of would have made it. I would have been able to make like decent money and stuff from it, but then I just feel like I'll get sick of it in the end of doing it that way, and I'd hang it up, and then like I feel like I have my own business, and it's a decent little business, so I'm like, I can't take this full time, because like best case scenario, like I don't want to turn my nose up, it might be like, say, best case it's 50 or 60 grand, but the amount of work you'd have to do to put in and just blast social media with like videos and stuff like, which is not sort of my go. Yeah, it's too much for the reward. So you have to do it because you love it.
Yep.
Because yeah, no one's going to be making like massive amounts of money or anything out of this. And yeah, I don't really have an end game, mate. I'm hearing some whispers about some stuff that's coming up with like sprint cars in terms of traveling a little bit more. And I don't know, maybe if I could jump on the tail end of that and do something with that. But I don't know. By the time Speedway season's finished, I'm overdoing all the Speedway stuff and I want to do like the long form interviews. And then in the off season, I'm like, stuff, I'm sick of talking to these idiots. I just want to start racing again, you know. So I do get bored pretty quickly with whatever I'm doing. And yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know what the end goal would be. Just don't know, mate.
Well, just keep
I
it
felt
going, man, because I think it's great. Like, and I just remember when I first saw your stuff, I really enjoyed it because, I mean, you're a lot better professional than me. You got your own studios and stuff set up, and I'm sitting there thinking, Jesus Christ, here I'm in my home office and all the rest. And I even went through and tried to itemize all my stuff in the background to make it a little bit more better, but it's not as good as yours, man. So I'm a little bit no frills, but no, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for putting in the effort because I know there's a lot of people. I enjoy your shows, and I know a lot of other people out there enjoy them too, and it's good.
I do get credit for it, mate, but essentially, like, I just bring a microphone and just keep asking questions
Yeah, but
that
I do
and
the
most
same
like,
thing. But you've got to understand, it's the fact you're the one doing it. You're the one getting off the couch when you could easily be chilling out after a hard day. You're the one who's, you know, I mean, like to go out and reach out to the people. Like I reached out to you, you know what I mean? Like,
you feel like a dickhead, eh?
hey, I swear to God, I reckon, when I reached out to the Iwanos, Maddie finally got back to me. I'm pretty sure Blake probably lost my number, but anyway, that's all right. One day I'll get them.
They're good fellas.
One day.
If you meet them first, they take a bit to warm up the boys, but yeah, like I said before, mate, I truly feel like Matt's as switched on as anyone I've seen around the car and how he approaches a race and thinks his way through a race. Like Blake, just literally, he's very switched on as well. Like he knows what's going on. But yeah, they just keep to themselves and try and stay away from sort of the speedway politics and stuff like that. But yeah, they're ripper fellas, mate. They know what's going on. I'll get into Matty though. He's come on mine once, but even me, I just don't want to ask him. I feel like I make him uncomfortable because I'm not sure if it's his go, but I'll get ripped into Matty and see what he's up to. Try and get him on here.
Yeah, no, I'll appreciate that. Look, before I let you go, let me ask you another question. 85, the number. Any significance there? Where did that come from?
I spoke to my missus about this, mate. I was going to lie to you about it. But essentially, when I was a kid, a fella by the name of Ryan Davies lived down the road from me in Newman, up in the Pilbara. Yep. He ran a super sedan, and he was number 85. I used to draw these pictures that they were just absolutely dog shit. Draw these pictures, and I'd sneak it into his letterbox, and then run back home. Right, I thought he was the king. He lived about 4 houses down. One day, he caught me, and pulled me into his house and gave me cordial, whatever. And he was like, you're the kid been doing it. End up buying me a heap of like BMX bikes. And I used to race BMXs a little bit. And I just thought he was the king, mate. I just thought he was the best dude ever. And he raced the super sedan in a town of probably 2,000 people. And I just thought he was the absolute shit. I think he's still up in Newman. He helps out the club up there. But yeah, essentially I've just run the 85 cents because, yeah, Ryan Davis up in Newman had it, mate, in the super sedan.
That is fantastic. I love that story. I'm glad you told me the story. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember his missus was hot as well back in the day too. I reckon I was like year 3, and I just remember thinking she was good looking too. So
you thought I want to be a race car driver?
Yeah, that's probably what I did think actually.
Say no more. No, we've got to start somewhere. Hey, look, before I let you run off, mate, thank you very much for coming on the show. Do you have any sponsors? You've got to thank your sponsors for help you get up and down the highway, go racing.
Yeah, I'd say it's just the same as my podcast, really, mate. Plus a couple of others. Got probably like wingless related, mate. All Talk Engineering, Jared Culshaw down there. He builds a lot of wingless engines. Sort of helps some really top level dudes build their engines. Myself, I know he does Tommy Britton's, Travis Armstrong's. I think there's some more and more coming along, and my engine, mate, I bolted in since day one. I've not touched it. I don't clean the injectors. I don't do anything on it, mate. Like, and it's probably jinxed myself now. And it'll
I wish you didn't say that.
It's just bulletproof, mate. It's an absolute wicked engine. He's really good at that. Slade Shocks, Glenn Beaton over here in WA. He's one of the best crew chief series in Australia. He's World of Outlaws champion crew chief, and it's J-Mac and Veal. He just knows what he's doing. He does Blake and Matt Ivanhoe shocks, Brandon Sharp shocks, my shocks, like half the people in the pits. The Phillips boys now run them. Nick Rowe, obviously coming over from the speed cars for the Aussie title, he runs them. Not good enough though. I gave him a tune-up last time we raced old Rowie. He started behind and he stayed there. But yeah,
Nice.
but just those two. Yeah, they're the people I truly do want to thank because they have helped me out race. The other boys are just sort of the sponsors for the pod and that. But yeah, All Talk Engineering and yeah, Beto at Slade Precision Shocks Australia, mate. They're rippers. And if you are over here and you need anything, they're the two that'll build your shocks the night before. Like, we do a double header. Beto gets about 5 or 6 shocks every Friday night, and they're brand new for Saturday night, and they bolt them back on the car. And
Yeah, nice.
yeah, he's a ripper fella. He's a king. Eddie loves his wingless. He comes down and helps on the Friday night just watching. And same as Jared, mate, from All Talk. They're always there hanging around in the pits. They're ripper fellas, mate.
Yeah, nice. Oh, well, look, hey, Kurt, thank you very much for letting me catch up with you. And sorry to bother you on your afternoon, but everyone, there's the face of...
No, wait. What's your tip then? You know the East Coast boys. Who you would have watched some of the rest of it. Who do you sort of think is going to
look,
go?
I'm calling him the alphabet champ. You can't go, well, now we've got 2 of them, but Blake Walsh, he went over there and he did something to surprise the bejesus out of me when he went over. Like, as much as... Now, I think that was like a family car of some, like a...
Yeah, Gary Walsh.
Gary Walsh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a wild setup. It's got like the 5 shocks. In America, they run that extra shock on the right rear.
Yeah.
That thing has that. Like,
really?
Yeah, Gary GKR Transport he used to run. He put like Tom Payette and Daniel Hardigan.
Yep.
He was their car owner, helped them out. Yeah, Blake was good. Yep. Who else we got?
Blake, okay, so he's had a pretty bad run since taking that A1, but Tyson Martin last year was absolutely incredible in everything he did. I was with him at Goulburn there when he picked up the New South Wales title just like 2 weeks ago. I'm going to turn around and say it's because he's got the Wild&Wingless stickers on his car now, so that made him go faster in that feature and get the win. But if he can get that monkey off his back, definitely he's going to be one to watch. But you say that, you also look at Travis Miller. He's coming over. Cole Mock's coming over. Now, he's got a car that's built by another guy, Luke Sayer. Mm-hmm. And that thing is just... Wait till you see it. The ARC shows. Just wait till you see that thing. But anyway, he's running that, and Mockey's always fast. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say those guys, but I'm sure someone else is going to sneak in there. Chris Temby, you can't rule him out. So he's a bit of a quiet achiever. It's funny I say quiet because you don't ever see him except for he's sitting down, eating, and or on his phone. But he's going to be, he should be around there. So yeah.
There's one Smokey there. I met him in Mount Gambier. Was he 5th in the 410s, mate? Todd Mule.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Mate,
you're right. He's on the card.
Mate, he told me he was coming over.
Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't have the nicest 410 in the pits by any means. I was there with Crickies, so I was with Dane. We're going for Dane. Dane chased Todd, and I think the world of Dane. I think Dane's as talented as anyone in Australia in a sprint car. And he chased Todd for the whole feature, mate. Could not get him.
Really?
That thing's got a 20-something-year-old engine.
Yep.
And he really impressed me. I don't know if Luke Story's coming over or not, but...
I haven't seen him yet, but
yeah,
you're right.
Mule,
Todd,
how good he drove. I thought, fuck, this kid could do anything over
there.
Yeah. His car is really good, I believe. The wings that he...
Whatever anyone's going to say, like, whatever happened last year, I felt for it. And the reason being, I remember before my boy went to Archerfield, I changed over the valve springs, right? And I'm no mechanic. I get these valve springs in a box, replaced, good, like for like, except for I got those coil things in. Anyway, he gets to the Australian title there and he goes, oh, fuck. And I'm working out offshore Gladstone there. And I must have sent a text message or something like that. And he's like, oh, you put in those dampeners. Not allowed to have those dampeners in. So he's trying to pull them out before he's gone through inspection in the dirt, and everyone else is, people are like messaging me going, man, your kid's pulling apart the motor in the pits here. What's wrong with the kid? Anyway. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. Like, they're coming in a box.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the same thing happened to Todd, and I felt so bad for him because that race he put on in that feature against Tyson Martin and Mildred was absolutely incredible. And I thought, man, everyone, just because you get picked up for something, people go to the nth degree that you're a criminal.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that was okay, they've got rules, yeah. But anyway, I reached out to him and I said, man, look, you want to come on and have a chat and tell us your side of the story. And I was surprised he came on. He didn't blame anybody. he just held himself well. And I thought, you know what, that guy, there's a reason why he's so good, and it's because he doesn't bullshit. He knows who he is, and I reckon they've probably got a fire in their belly a little bit harder than many others. So you're right. I completely forgot him, but I wish him all the best when he gets over there, because he's a great guy. But in saying that, man, you're going to get, who's to say? Who's to say? I mean, I'm picking the two brothers you've already got over there, like 1 and 3. You spoke about like Travis. He's had a really good year. Will he be top 5? Probably, yeah. You know, Sharpie, he could be there too. Like, I'm looking, even some of the races I've watched with you, I think, don't count yourself out being top 5. Like, you don't know who's going to be there. And then
Darren Humphries' heats have been phenomenal this year.
There's someone. And Hayden Hicks.
Yep.
So there's just, and then I look at like Tyson Martin, that guy, I know what he does on that car, and how much pressure he puts on himself is incredible. Like, a lot of people think he's this, he's that. He's not. He's just so focused on the job at hand, trying to do well. He makes himself almost physically sick. But like, you look at what happened to him at he won the Australian title. It would have been the state title, I think it was, or the WOW series. It was like a $2 part. Let go. Yeah. Like, it happens. So, man, I don't know. But all I know is if that thing goes to the wall, like we've seen, you've spoken about, I don't know how these boys are going to do it, but The question is, will WA be able to hold it in WA? That's the thing. So,
a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, I said, I don't know if I want to be in it or watch it.
Well, thank God I'm not a racer, because I'm terrible. I wouldn't even be in it if I was a racer. Yeah. No, man, but look, hey, I appreciate you coming on. For everyone, there's Kurt, the man behind the Work Area podcast, and I really appreciate your time. And thank you for the advice, too.
Mate, bang this thing, Podbean, it'll be in Spotify in 20 minutes.
All right, done. We'll do that. But all right, man, thanks very much for coming on. Everyone, thank you very much for tuning into this episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.